All right, the first thing I'd do for this one, for 83, is I would, I'd make this into x to the 1/2 power, and then I would divide all these terms. I would divide x squared, 3x, and 7 by x to the 1/2 power. So I'm just going to manipulate it a little bit, and maybe the problem will seem easier after that. So I get x to the 3 over 2. 2 minus 1/2 is 1 1/2, but I like to keep it as an improper fraction. So I'm going to leave that like that. And then the next one would be 3x to the 1/2, because it has a 1 for the exponent. So you're just subtracting the exponents. And for the 7, we have 7x to the negative 1/2. And then I get dx. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need u sub for this, because so when you do this one, you gotta do the antiderivative for each of those, and so you would add 1 and then divide by whatever you get. Instead of saying 1, let's say 2 over 2, so they have common denominators. That would be 5 over 2, so I'm going to divide it by 5 over 2. This one right here, I'm going to add 2 over 2 for this one also. That would be 3 over 2, and then for this one I add 2 over 2, and I would get 1/2. And so let's simplify that some more. So we get x raised to the, what would that be, 5 over 2. And then that 2 is going to go up top, and I have 5 on the bottom. You could put the x after it. You could take it off the top. I'm not going to, but you could. Then we have, this would be 6x to the 3 over 2 over 3. And that simplifies down to 2. And then we have 7, actually be 14x to the 1/2 power. Okay, plus c. Yeah, that's the integral. Okay, and that's one way to write your answer. Another way to write the answer is without all the fraction exponents. So all these exponents have a 2 on the denominator. That's the root number, so that's a square root. And so another way we can write this answer would look like this. We have 2 over 3. No, that's 5. That's a 5. 2 over 5. And then we have, let's do x to the 5th. Actually, we can simplify that guy. Whoops. Yeah, we can simplify that. So we don't need to put that 2 there. So we have plus 2 x to the 3rd, square root of that. And then we have our 14 square root of x plus c. A couple of those can be simplified. This one we could take out. Let me break it down. So we're taking the square root of this, and if you're thinking about it, you can split up the x to be x times x to the 4th, and x to the 4th is a perfect square. That means he can come out of the square roots. What would come out of the square root if we square root x to the 4th? Yeah, so it'd be 2 over 5 x squared times square root of x. And we could do the same thing with this guy. It could be x squared and then times x. And so that would be 2x square root of x plus 14 square root of x plus c. And I don't know. I mean, this is probably the way the answer would look if it was multiple choice, but I can see that they all have a common factor, so there's a good chance that they might take the common factor out. I don't know, but that's just algebra. That's manipulation. The calculus part stopped right after this answer.